Hi. Today I want to make a video. I got a comment. I've had a couple comments that were kind of asking what's the point of the spiritual aspect of this that I keep talking about in these videos, and how can I apply that to the INTJ lifestyle. I'm going to go ahead and read a comment so you guys can kind of see where I'm coming from. And this is from Mr. Polik 890. I have to say that I'm enjoying the meditation and spiritual aspect of the new way you look at life, but I'm finding it hard to connect it to the way I live my life. As an INTJ, I can see the grounding and releasing as just a way to be more positive and to remove people from your imposed self-fulfilling prophecy. I find that I relate to your experiences. At this moment, I am most interested in finding ways to bring my introverted intuition to the conscious and improve on it. Okay, so this is a big thing that I had to go through, and this is something that if you are an INTJ or you are on any of the intellectual paths, moving towards INTJ or anything where you can intellectualize anything really, really well, you're going to see that one of the things that we do at this stage in growth is validate ourselves. And as an INTJ, being able to pick up on all these subtle things, you're able to call everyone out on everything all the time. And when people try to call you out, one, they get very intimidated because they already know the way that you think, and they more than likely can't fully comprehend it, and it really can't ever catch you in anything. You can talk your way at anything. So that's one of the biggest things we have to deal with is no one can really call you out. So it's kind of your responsibility to learn how to call yourself out. So in going back to the question, the spiritual side of implementing that into the INTJ's reality has a lot to do with bravery. It has a lot to do with emptying, because as an INTJ you get to the point where you do know everything in a sense from your perspective, and you use everything that you pick up on to, you always have an excuse for what you're doing, no matter what. You don't ever have anything that happens that you do that you're just like, I don't know what just happened, I just did it, I'm not sure why. So in that case, you can always explain one or two levels beyond where most people can think, so no one can ever question it. So because of this, nobody can ever call you out in a way that makes you think about it. You can always talk yourself out of it and be like, oh, I did this because of this. And because of your pattern recognition, you can always make a connection. And this can become the biggest trap for an INTJ, because if you start competing with everyone else, which is how we're programmed, so I guess if you continue to compete with everyone else, you're going to have a hell of a time, because you're never going to be wrong. No one's going to be able to prove you wrong. And in doing so, you are going to be trapped in any of your flaws that you don't allow yourself to work on. So you have to become, you have to start stalking yourself. And you have to start looking at your pattern recognition, and you have to start doing it, well, you don't have to, but you can start doing it with meditation. And that helps, because once you start to get a consistent platform of finding a way to be in a relaxed, calm state and turning your analyzer down, then you start to pick up on the patterns of your own analysis. And in doing so, you find that there's certain things that happen that cause you yourself to instantly go unconscious to what you need to be looking at, aspects of yourself that you are flawed in. So this is one of those things where you really have to completely start over and reanalyze everything that you do, and you have to move beyond the point where you just want to be right to other people, because that's easy. That's not the whole point of this lifetime. As an INTJ, that's not the point, is to be right, because you're kind of born with that. So you kind of have to lead the way in another sort of way. And one of the ways that you can do this is by turning back on your emotions, and that can come through meditation. Because as an INTJ, you can really think of all of the different personality types as different forms of defense mechanisms. So just the same ways you can become a funny person, you can create a hilarious personality as a way of, as a defense mechanism. You can create being super intelligent as a defense mechanism. And all you have to do is alter your ideas about reality. It's not that you have to go learn something or reprogram your brain. You just have to change your ideas. So I guess what I'm trying to say in all this is, how can this be applied to my life? I'm an INTJ, and I can think my way out of everything. I'm always right. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to do anything more because I have all the answers. I understand that perspective very well. But again, the meditation and the spiritual aspect of what I'm bringing into this is what allows you to transcend the INTJ. So I'm getting quite a few comments lately from people who are like, I don't think you're an INTJ. And it's like, that's true. I was an INTJ. But if you are an INTJ and you have been an INTJ, or you know an INTJ, you understand that a part of the INTJ's personality is to shut off of all their emotions and to turn on their analyzer to 100%. So obviously you're doing this because you have a lot of pain around something that has to do with expressing yourself in your second chakra, where your sex energy and your emotional energy takes place. So the meditation helps you clear that, and once you clear that, then you start to allow feeling to be an aspect of your intelligence. You start to get your emotional intelligence up, and in doing so, you start to pick up on a lot more, and you start to kind of slip out of the whole super intelligent thing into starting to decide what state of being you want to be in, and how you want to hold that. Because being intelligent's cool for some things. If you want to be really smart in front of other people, or you want to make people you don't like look stupid. These are all just like really juvenile sort of ways to use your intelligence. But really the whole point of your intelligence is to go introverted and stalk yourself and look at every aspect of yourself that's not in alignment with where you're going and push it harder. And as an INTJ, we can get really, really lazy because knowledge comes so quickly and easily. In pattern recognition, we can see it in everyone else. I can sit there and I can tell you every single thing about every person I've ever seen without talking to them. I can just look at someone walking down the street and I just know the patterns that make up their reality, their identity, their thought processes. And that allows me a sort of safety. It's like walking around always with some sort of weapon. And we use it to not be called out, to not be seen for who we are and the pain that we have. So the meditations that I've mentioned, they're really good in the sense of they allow you to become more conscious of where you're at. And but the biggest aspect of this video that I want to just focus on is that no one's going to call you out, so you got to call yourself out. And it's very easy to get stuck. We all know intellectuals who you can tell they've been the smartest person in the room their whole life, and because of that they have an arrogance, and what they're really doing is they're making themselves super segregated from everyone else. And the whole point of being on this planet is to reintegrate into the oneness that we came from. So the intelligence can be your biggest problem. So with the meditation, you get out of your head, you shut your analyzer off, and you're able to feel. So the more you do that, the more you're able to feel, and that's how it can apply to the INTJ, and that's how you can use it to transcend the INTJ defense mechanism and to start integrating some of the other ones. So try it out, and if you have any questions, again, it's a complicated thing to start calling yourself out, but again, meditation is just like a way that it automatically happens, and you start to become more sensitive emotionally, which adds a lot to the INTJ's reality.